this fucking mind.
Hey everyone. Let's stop the music. My glasses broke. Forgive me. I have to wear my sunglasses today. I have a friend who is conservative, Trumper, MAGA. Good friend of mine. I'm not sure what she is exactly, but she had me watch a Steven Crowder video. Steven Crowder is a comedian, claims to be a comedian who is on the right side of things, definitely a rightist, if that's a term. And she just begged me to please watch the first 20 minutes of the Steven Crowder video, which I did over on Rumble. I guess that's where he streams now. And I watched it. I know why she wanted me to watch it. It's very touching, moving, powerful, okay? But completely based. And I think it was too over the top of a response. I know Charlie Kirk is dead, right? And apparently it was a crazy transgender, what they call a lunatic tranny, a quote unquote lunatic tranny. I don't know where my phone went. Let's see here. I'm gonna write what I wrote back to her just so I don't misquote myself. Give me a second. I have to put my glasses on. These are the only glasses I own right now. These are actually prescription sunglasses. All right. So she said, please watch the video. So I watched. I said, I watched it and I have problems with what he is saying. He lumps the left into one basket. He does. He calls them terrorists, but doesn't mention the fact that literally a few months ago, 2 Democrat lawmakers were gunned down by a person on the right. I believe that's what happened. I think that's my understanding. Anyone who does that is criminal. Whatever your political beliefs are, if you gun someone down, you're a criminal, unless it's self-defense. The social media companies are driving both sides to radicalism. If you watch that Steven Crowder video and you hate the left already, you're going to hate him even more after that. You're going to really hate them. And there is zero nuance in what Steven Crowder said. Zero. He says, we got to fight. He's not saying attack. He's saying have a hair trigger defense. That's what he said. There's zero nuance. Also, every time someone shoots someone, it gets immediately claimed to be a lunatic tranny. That's what it looks like, right? Apparently, I hadn't heard this. There's been 3 back-to-back. 3 lunatic trannies back-to-back have killed people, apparently. Not my words, okay? When it's not a lunatic tranny, and it turns out to be some crazy white right-wing nut, no one makes retractions. Where are the retractions? Hey, you know what? We said this was a lunatic tranny. It turns out it was a Trump guy. This guy loved Trump. But if you really loved Trump, he wouldn't have done that. Whatever you say. But at least make a retraction. I haven't seen the retraction. Doesn't mean one doesn't exist. That's what I wrote to her. Either way, whoever kills someone for political reasons or opinions, different opinions, is a crazy, radical terrorist, period. They're not a leftist terrorist or a rightist terrorist, or they might be, but it doesn't matter what side they're on, they're terrorists. We shouldn't be killing people over a political opinion. Now, this is what I wrote. If you saw my video yesterday, you know that when I woke up yesterday and heard that Charlie Kirk had been dead, I celebrated it. Okay, that was my first response because of all the stuff I had heard he had said. But when he came up in my feed on TikTok, I decided to watch a bunch of his videos and I came away with a different opinion, and I felt like I was absolutely wrong for that way of thinking. And I should never have that way of thinking. No matter how much I think the opinion of that person is shitty, it would give, if I can have that way of thinking, then it gives people permission. It makes it look like I'm okay with that. And that would mean that me holding the exact opposite opinion would mean someone on the other side could just kill me for my opinion. And there is no, freedom of speech doesn't work that way. Freedom of speech doesn't mean you get killed for your opinion. All right. So here's what I wrote. There were a lot of shitty things Charlie Kirk said from my position, but none merit death. But I fear this rhetoric on both sides is going to divide us even more. It's exactly what the billionaires want. This is where I got a little bit conspiracy level, right? Like, I really don't think, I don't know if there's billionaires behind the scenes going, let's get together. Okay, how can we drive division? I don't know if that's the case, but sometimes it certainly feels like it, okay? We all are suffering with a shitty economy and unsustainable prices, but we focus on the fringe right and the fringe left positions. That's all we're doing. We always focus on them, worst of the worst on both sides, and make the left will make the right look crazy, and the left makes the right look crazy. The right makes the left look crazy, and the left makes the right look crazy, okay? We need to stop all the name calling. When I look at the left media, they shit all over Republicans. But the right media does it too. All the time. They do the exact same shit. And neither side admits their own failures and inadequacies. They just live as victims of the opposite side. Tribalism. Steven Crowder said, it's not the same. Steven Crowder is already addressing, it's the same on both sides, the thing that I'm saying, right? He's saying, it's not the same. And he's not wrong. But it's not the same purely because what we both want are different. We just want, the right wants a different thing than the left wants. They claim to want the same thing, which is interesting. They want freedom. They want stuff for their families. There's minor things like abortion and gun rights, but there's a lot of people on the left that have guns, and there's a lot of people on the left that don't like abortion as well. There's people on the right that want abortion and don't like guns. It's mixed. Can we understand that it's not this black and white division in our country? It might look like it, but it's not. Majority of the people are mostly kind of center in their thinking. Both sides use every tragedy as a way to make the other side look bad. As to what extent is only as much as social media as you get in your brain as to how angry you get at the other side. We are Americans. Everyone in America wants money. We all want to have success. We all want things to be inexpensive. We all want opportunity. We all want a good job or a way to make good money. We want a happy family. We want a stable government. We want to be able to travel. These are all things that we want, whether you're right or left. Kathy's one of my greatest friends. Do we see eye to eye on politics? Absolutely not. Did we at one point both love Korea? Yeah, loved Korea. All right, hang on. I got a response from Kathy. I appreciate you watching, however much of it you did. And I agree, there are fringe radicals on both sides, but it's not equal. Here's her opinion. Given the UCLA study, oh, hang on, because I just saw a study that showed 70+% of violence came from the right. Let me see if this is an opposite thing refuting that. Giving the UCLA study, 18/20 equals 90% of major outlets rated left of center in comparison to average US voter, one might infer that among major trusted media, a large majority lean liberal. On social media platforms, among those who get news there, many platforms' news consumers lean liberal or are Democratic leaning, especially on platforms like Instagram, TikTok, etc. But on others, Facebook, YouTube, it's more mixed. If I had to give a ballpark, among mainstream national news outlets, perhaps 70 to 90% lean liberal. but by some measure. Among social media news sources, platforms, and influencers, the share leaning liberal might be lower, maybe 40 to 60%, depending on how many conservative leaning voices are also active and how mainstream is defined. I don't even know what, I'm not sure how. Oh, that's ChatGPT. Both sides, it's not equal. She means it's not equal on the social media side. I don't mean it's equal. I mean, what the right says is equal to what the left says. You know why I know? Because I am left. I'm very, very left. But because Kathy's my friend, I started watching Steven Crowder. And hear me out, I was radicalized to the right just based on beginning to watch Steven Crowder. This happened in 2018. 2018, I started watching Steven Crowder. That led to a ton of Ben Shapiro owning the libs. And that led to a bunch of other right-leaning media being thrown my way by the algorithm. And I'll tell you what, the very first thing that shocked me was, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. The right was saying the exact same thing that my previous media was saying about the left. These people are so stuck in their dogma. They don't see that they're wrong. They're a cult. They're stupid. They're idiots. They're uneducated. They just follow the leader. They're sheep. These are all things that the other side has said, 100% in one way or another. So when I first saw it, I was like, wow, I didn't realize that we were both saying the same thing about each other. But then I started to believe it. I was like, oh man, yeah, the left is so woke. Holy shit, they want to change freedom of speech. They want to force me to say they, them, zer, whatever. I remember I started getting incensed about the left. I started watching a bunch of Steven Crowder change my mind. I flipped on a lot of positions. I'm so flippable. And hear me out. Hear me out. I'm not an uneducated man. I believe if I'm flippable, everyone's flippable. Because I doubt everything. But I then proceeded to vote full Republican ticket in the midterm of 2018 because I started watching Steven Crowder. And I'll tell you what, my friend Kathy, 100% watches a ton of stuff that reinforce her opinions. And it only took me a few Rachel Maddows, okay, and a few left-leaning sources that I listened to flip me back, right? And I got right back into my bubble. The thing that kicked me out was Trump winning. Did he win or was he cheating? My bubble seems to think he cheated. But I have been tricked multiple times by my bubble, not intentionally as far as I know. But whatever bubble sent my way wasn't the exact truth. So now I know the left is a construct, the right is a construct. It's made purely to divide us. Are there differences? Yes. There's huge differences. Am I left? Yes. I believe medical care should be free, just like police and fire is. I believe there should be social safety nets. I believe the rich should be taxed. By the way, when you tax the rich, it doesn't mean all their money gets taxed like that. It's after a certain amount, they get taxed higher. It's called progressive tax rates. I think a lot of people think you make a lot of money and all of your money gets taken away. That's not how it works. You're taxed at the same rate up until a point, and then as the money gets higher, they take a higher percentage. That's what needs to happen again. That would help the country significantly. Do we need welfare programs? Yes. Will they be abused? Of course. That should be the government doing their best to prevent it. But you don't just take it away from everybody because there's bad apples. There's bad apples in every freedom that we have. Guns, people kill innocent people with guns. Does that mean we take away guns? No. Some people overdose on drugs. Does that mean we take away drugs? No. We educate. We make people understand the dangers. Let them have their free will. The only rule that we really should have in this country is Don't hurt other people. So that might mean there's laws on pollution, there's rules and regulations on guns, who can drive a car, what age you have to go to the military. There might be certain drugs that if you do them, they're so bad that they affect society. So maybe we pull back on those a little bit. But marijuana, mushrooms, stuff like that, you just can't drive a car. There's a rule. You drive a car, the penalties are severe. You should have known. You want an abortion? Get an abortion. You don't want one? Guess what? You don't have to get one. That should be your choice. Abortion's the trickiest one because we are infringing on the baby, right? We are going to kill a living being. I understand that is a tricky one. We need to maybe figure out how to do that one, right? I'm of the mind that, hey, it's in the woman's body. Let her do what she needs to do. But maybe the rule should be, if the baby's viable, you can't just kill it, right? If the baby is just still really, really like 4 months, 3 months, that's enough time to make the decision, I think, right? Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I'll look at the chat in just a second. I just think Steven Crowder, I think he's a very smart man, but I think he was very disingenuous in calling the left terrorists and making it look like only the left has terrorism when there's so much terrorism on the right as well. And I don't know the numbers. I don't know if it's 90 to 10% or 10 to 90% or 50-50 or 60-50. Is the media skewed? Yeah, but I don't know the numbers on terrorism. Okay? But they're all bad. No one should be allowed to be a terrorist. And it shouldn't matter whether you're a tranny, quote unquote, his words, or whether you like to be with a woman or be with a man. It doesn't matter. If you do something like that, you need to be taken out. Whew. Let's see what the comments are saying. Glaceon says, people lump the right into one basket too. I just said that. Yes, both sides lump the other side into one basket. It's dangerous. It's dangerous to think that people on the right don't have nuanced thinking or that people on the left don't have nuanced thinking. They do. I'm on the left and I have nuanced thinking. I like some of the things that Charlie Kirk said. I like some of the ways that he talked to people. Certain things I didn't like. I've seen more negative things that he said now, and I didn't like those things. He is a bad person in many ways in my eye, but not bad enough to kill. He didn't deserve that. No one deserves that. Everyone does some sus shit. I'm sure, by the way, that there are outliers of people that don't do sus shit. And no one does retractions. I feel like I've done some retractions, for the record. Media is too full of themselves. Agree. Baby Bear says, NC Country was funded with violence. What's NC Country? I'm not sure what that means. Tim says, welcome to Asia, my friend. Look forward to seeing you in Tokyo. Tim never really comes in to discuss the topics. He just comes in to say hi. He doesn't really hear what I'm saying. Kyle says, they've got the perp going back to watch. What was it, a tranny? Apparently that's what they're saying. But it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me that it would be a transgender person that's crazy enough to kill the person that's anti-tranny. That always makes sense to me. What didn't make sense to me was that it was a guy that liked Trump that shot at Trump. That never makes sense to me. Why would you, if you're on the right, why would you shoot someone on the right? You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. If you're on the left, why would you shoot someone on the left? Glaceon says, don't celebrate people getting hurt just because they say shit you don't like. Absolutely. And I made my retraction, even though I never came out publicly and said that I wanted Charlie, that I was happy he had died. I did feel that morning, and I retracted it the moment that I told you. So I don't feel that anymore. I feel like that was lesson learned. I should never feel like that. George is very impressionable. That's true. I am. Weirdly enough, once I realized I was impressionable, I didn't become less impressionable. I became more questioning of what I was listening to. And now I'm stuck in this thing where I don't believe anything I see anymore. Like, Was it a tranny or is it a psyops? I don't know. It would be very convenient to be a transgender person. It would be so convenient, wouldn't it be? For the right side, right? For people on the right, it would just fit the narrative that transgender people are a problem, right? Hot Doquete says, what do you feel about the people in your quote unquote bubble celebrating recently? I think it's fucking disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. I celebrated as well initially, and so I know why they're doing it. They're only looking at the worst of the worst stuff that Charlie said. They haven't seen him in his better moments. He has said some shit, right? At one point, someone on Reddit had listed all the things that he said, and I was like, oh shit. And I had seen him say some of them in clips. And it's like, oh shit, that's pretty bad. Like, you don't, when you see a black pilot, you have to think, is he here because of DEI? Can I trust him? Stuff like that. That's just really like, wow. You know, he was good at weaving it, you know, and saying, you want to trust your pilot. And if they have pilots that were put in a spot just because they were black and they were filling a quota, yeah, that would be bad. But I don't think that's how it was going down. I don't know if it was, right? So I know what he was saying. Still, it's pretty shitty. It's kind of a mixed bag for me on those things. Like, it's not like they threw away all of the requirements to become a pilot. If it's what I think my understanding of what they were doing with DEI was like saying, if you have two qualified candidates and one is black, you give them preference if the quota is low, right? I don't know if there was actual quotas, but instead of the white guy, you know? And I know there were cases where they let people in with lower scores. That is unacceptable. I agree with him there. That's why I know it's a tricky thing. And this is why I think it's nuanced. A lot of things that Charlie said were nuanced. You know, for the record, I don't like Steven Crowder anywhere near as much as I liked Charlie Kirk, for the record. I think Charlie comes at it from a place of believing what he's saying. I feel like Steven Crowder comes at it at a way of trying to score points on the right. I don't know if he believes everything that he says. I think he purposely leaves out facts to make the right look better. I feel like that's what he does. I have no proof. It's just a feeling, just my opinion. I hate the two-party system. What a pile of garbage it is. I saw a study, Glaceon, that no matter what system you have, you end up with a two-party system. I think the only way you don't is if you have ranked choice voting and you have a government that utilizes where they place the amount of seats based on the amount of votes or something like that. I forget what that's called. Right. Yeah. Us or them. That is exactly what everyone does. Like, so many important people to me don't agree with me politically. And I think they're idiots for what they believe. I like my mother's approach. I met my mother for the first time in 42 years, about a summer and a half ago. And a year and a half ago. And she never talks politics. She was, nope. I'm pretty sure everyone in Georgia just leans right. And I know that my brother and his family definitely leans right because they were explaining to me a lot of things that I just had to go, okay, now I get it. I don't believe that, but I'm not going to spew my opinion to you because I like you. I like everyone in my family, on that side of my family. I really enjoyed myself. But it doesn't matter. I don't care what they have a vote. I'll just cancel out their vote. You know what I mean? As long as they're not killing people, we're good. Don't kill people. Have your opinion. Do your vote. That's what needs to happen. Almanac says, politics aside, what the F is up with those crocked sunglasses? Why the Dutch angle? Are they crocked? Are they crocked? So it just might be that the headphones are messing them up. Here's the deal. I'm wearing sunglasses because my other glasses broke. The arm fell off of the glasses earlier today. So, and what sucks is I have 3 monitors and I can see these 3 really perfectly. This one, I have to do this to see it. I have to do this because there's something with the polarization of my glasses that cancels out the light from this monitor. And so if I don't do this, I can't see anything. So I keep looking over here. I apologize. Baby Bear says, I think yours is wishful thinking, George. Kirk was a bad person saying bad things. If he were in a position of power, he'd enforce his hateful agenda. There are some things he said that were extremely hateful. I agree. I just still like the guy. You know, I know that's weird. I know it's super contradictory to like someone that says hateful things, but I liked Rush Limbaugh too. I really enjoyed his show. Was he saying things that I liked? Not at all. But I liked his show. I thought it was great. You know, I don't know. A good broadcaster is a good broadcaster. Charlie Kirk was a good broadcaster. His content was generally fun for me. We need more third parties. It's not going to really happen. RFK tried. He had a decent momentum for a third party candidate. RFK, I don't know. You don't need to kill people to be considered bad. I'm not saying he wasn't bad. I'm just saying he didn't deserve to die. Let him exist. Look, I would choose Charlie Kirk over someone spouting, making a religion and having people send them money for that. You know what I mean? It's just an opinion. Life's too short, man. You don't need to kill people to be considered bad. Oppressing people and their existence is even worse. Yes, I agree. But maybe you don't know this, but over on the Tissue Box channel, I wrote a book from God called My Eternal Book. There's 3 chapters. You have to get past the first half of chapter 1, but I talk about what my feelings are about how the earth works and free will. It's pretty clear to me. You are allowed to be a bad person, and there is no right or wrong. There really isn't. Who says there's right or wrong, right? We could say, oh, it's bad to kill people. Okay, unless you're self-defending yourself, right? Right? Like the rules change depending on the circumstance, right? I don't know. I'm pretty, I'm more, I guess, a philosophy level on these things. I'm not really, I don't know everything. And I trust me, I will change my opinion, drop of a hat, you know? And if you have a difference of opinion and you sway me, I'll be swayed, if ever so temporarily. Encouraging, supporting people in delusions is not kind or sensible. Hot Dokete, do you believe in God? Hot Dokete, do you have religion? Because there are people like you that would say exactly what you just said, but then they believe in God. They believe in the same delusion as a political way of thinking. Hot Dokete is based as fuck. Well, it looks to me like Glaceon is on the right side. All right, let's get people in on the conversation. I'm going to head on over to, I can't see anything. I can't see anything, guys. I'm going to head on over to Polyglot George channel. How do I get out of this thing? Give me a second, guys. Is it this? I keep taking screenshots. Oh, there we go. File. Oh my God, I can't see anything. There we go. All right, I'm going to head on over to Discord. Where are we going to go? Go to Polyglot George channel. If you don't know where that is, look it up. I'll try to share the link in here. Dude, I haven't been in Polyglot George channel in forever. All right, we're going to be in the general room. I'm in there now. I'm going to post an invite, so it's not just me chatting. Did it go? Nope. Hang on. Invite people. Or send it a server invite link to a friend. Edit the invite link. We're going to say no limit. And it's going to be a never-ending link. I'm going to copy it. Here you go. All right. I reserve the right to be completely hypocritical when we talk. I just said a bunch of things. I reserve the right to be completely hypocritical. All right, come on in. Don't be shy. I'm in the Polyglot George general channel here on Discord. Okay. That's the link. All right. Well, if no one can join, that's fine. I'll just look at chat. Baby Bear says, oh, Baby Bear says, making people suffer is good. Making people bad equals making people suffer. Good is not making people suffer. It's that easy. Saying trans people shouldn't exist is bad. Allowing trans people to live peaceful is good. Let me think about that. Yeah, I see that. Mind your own fucking business. Leave people alone. Don't infringe on other people. We can debate what it means to infringe on other people, right? But the problem is, if you're going to give freedom of speech to people, you're going to have bad freedom of speech, or else there is no freedom of speech. If anything is abridged, except for we can agree violence shouldn't be called for in speech. If anything is abridged, then you don't have freedom of speech, right? Okay, I'm sitting alone, guys, in the general channel here. Is there a way to... Give me a second. I mean, no one ever goes to the Polyglot George room. Hunt Doke says, at Baby Bear, physically mutilating and sterilizing confused people is good or bad? Wow, the discussion is really ramping up. I'm not even sure what we're talking about. I'm trying to... How many people are even watching it? So I'm probably not enough. There's 14 of you guys watching. Someone jump in. Come on, someone jump in. Come on into the channel. Say, even if you don't have a difference of opinion and you just want to talk about Japanese things, that's fine as well. We don't have to make this political. Lester Green says, I can't believe how sick people have become. What made me most scared and upset was not the assassination itself, but people celebrating it. I agree. That was absolutely sickening. No matter what side of the spectrum you're on, you don't cheer on assassinations. That is absolutely insane. I don't know how we will survive as a country at this rate. You want to hear my opinion? We won't survive. It's over. It's already happening. It's not going to survive these next 3.5 years. It's not going to. I don't see it surviving. Whether Trump lives or dies, it's not going to survive it. We're too far gone. There's two main bubbles of information, and the people on the right have their bubble and the people on the left have their bubble for the most part. And they're so different that it's a different reality. It can't survive, okay? Everything that the left says, so logical to the people on the left. Everything on the right, so logical to the people on the right. They're like, yeah, whatever you say on the right, whatever you say on the left, you watch it like this. Yeah, unless you're a critical thinker and you go, wait a minute. Is that the truth? Did that person really say that? Did that person really do that?
Hello.
Oh, hey.
I think about that, I think I more or less agree. Also, sorry if I sound a little rough. I'm kind of sick.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jack.
Oh, that's cool. I'm getting better. I think I agree. I guess I want to be naively hopeful that there's some way where we can like kind of find a shared reality again. But particularly with the way this Charlie Kirk thing's going, it's definitely like kind of black pilled me a lot about whether or not we're going to be the United States in the next.
I've never heard black pill. I've heard red pill and blue pill. What's black pill mean? Does that mean all hope
like
is lost?
Just yeah, basically.
Oh, I'm black pilled as well. I think our country's over. I mean, can we agree we're no longer a democracy? We're just basically a dictatorship at this point.
I mean, I agree. I think if I was going to be pedantic, I'd say like there's still a fight going on in a lot of the different levels of government. Like you're going to have more democratic institutions in different states and at different levels, but I do think that like very clearly we're ramping more and more towards just congregating all that power under the executive branch.
I agree. Yeah. And I'm ready, man. I'm going to be a Californian. I'm hoping they invite Nevada in we're kind of purplish over there. We're red this time around, but I'm hoping we got like the West Coast country, Cascadia, California, whatever you want to call it. I was actually looking to buy a house in California just to make sure I got in. You know, even if it's a crappy house somewhere in the middle of the desert on the way from Vegas to California, that would be enough. Of like, hey, I'm a landowner here. You got to let me in.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, I'm in Georgia, which we're like, I guess the most purple in the South, but that's not saying much.
That's where my family is too. But I got the vibe that when I was up in Norman Park, you know where that is?
No.
Near Moultrie, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, I guess that's I don't know enough about Georgia to know. I think it's like 200 miles out of Atlanta and relatively close to Florida.
Right, just reference everything either as close to Savannah or close to Atlanta, and people will get it.
Gosh, where is Savannah?
It's like way south in Georgia.
All right, it's probably close to Savannah then. That's my guess. But yeah, I just assumed everyone in Georgia was red, but I guess you're right. Georgia has been kind of a purple state.
Well, I live in I mean it's the same everywhere, right? I live in a city. I live in one of the blue dots. There's like 3 blue dots in Georgia, so.
Okay. Let's see here. Almanac says, remove all religion from it and just go by intent. But imagine if everyone lived in compliance with the 10 commandments, how nice of a place we would be. I do think there should be an 11th commandment to not rape people, though. I feel like that would be a good addition to it. And maybe lump the first 4 together into like thou shalt obey God or something like that. It's all God stuff, right? Like be nice to God should be the first one if you're going to keep it. But how about we get past the concept that we could get rid of religion? We're not going to get rid of religion. It's going to always be here. People will believe things. I don't think we can get rid of it. What do you think, Jack?
No, it's part of us.
Yeah.
Like I think I grew up super religious. I think you said in another stream at some point you kind of did too, or at least close by to it.
I what? What did I say?
That you were like you grew up kind of in a.
Oh
no,
yeah.
wait. I think you. Yeah.
I grew up. I guess Catholic on my father's side. Then when I was 9 years old, I went to Georgia to meet my mother for the first time after, I guess, being a baby, and I got baptized in a Baptist church. And I willingly did it, and I believed in God, and that continued until I was about 17 in Japan. And at that time, I was exposed to Baptist again, Catholicism, Mormons, Shinto Buddhist people, the Japanese people, right, who basically have no religion, and the Jehovah's Witnesses, And my first Japanese girlfriend was Pentecostal. My very, very first Japanese girlfriend. The second one was Baptist. And so I got exposed to all of those, and that led me to decide there wasn't a God, or there wasn't, or that we don't know what really is happening. The Mormons believe it so steadfastly what they believe. The Jehovah's Witnesses believe what they believe. I walked in just one time to the Pentecostal church where they were speaking tongues, and I thought, yeah, people will believe anything.
Oh, my parents do all that stuff.
They do? They're Pentecostal?
Oh yeah. No, they're non-denominational. They're like, it's kind of hard to categorize them. You can categorize them as like charismatic because that's kind of a catch-all for all that
charismatic
stuff.
Never heard that.
Yeah,
before.
The charismatic Christian movement. It started in like the 60s. It's like I'm no like go check out Religion for Breakfast or some other like YouTube channel that actually knows what they're talking about. But
I watch the Cosmic Skeptic every now and then.
I like him. He's cool. I also really like I don't know if this would be interesting to anyone. His name is Timmy Gibson. He was I think it was Pentecostal. He was a preacher for like 30 years. And now he's like a full-on atheist, and he talks about his deconstruction. But he's still, he's in his 50s, and he still talks like a preacher. So it's very funny just because he's still got that cadence and that energy, but he's like, deconstructing the whole thing. So anyway, sorry. Yeah, I grew up in that culture, and it was all, for me, it was all just like fear. It was all just like, I'm afraid of hell. And you kind of just like live your life trying to not, burn forever. And when I got exposed to kind of like other stuff, it kind of, the fear was the last thing to go, but like the belief left first, right? Like I actually stopped believing before I stopped being afraid of hell,
Well, I'll
which
tell you
doesn't
what,
make sense, but it's just
the fear is real because I remember when I started doubting God, the fear was the last thing to go. Like it took a long time for me to say, I
Mhm.
don't believe in God. I don't think the God that we've invented is real. And I have a friend here in Korea that's one of my true friends. And I think it was about 7 years ago. So we were having a conversation. And I every now and then rail against religion. And when I'm here in Korea, I sometimes bring it up in conversations at meetups because I like the back and forth and the passion that happens because they stop thinking about my Korean as basic Korean and they get real with the Korean and I get to get real
right.
with my Korean. So I kind of enjoy that discussion. So I was kind of coming off of a meeting and I met with her separately for dinner and I was like, "Why do you believe in a God that allows babies to be born with maggots in their eyes or people or children to die or people children to get raped and I like why would a God be like that? He's all powerful." And I said,
Right.
"Why would you believe that?" And she said, "Because I'm afraid." And I it was such an honest moment.
That's real. Yeah.
I love her for that. And I cried. I cried a little bit because
Yeah.
for the first time I was left speechless because I didn't want to fight against that. That is a fair reason to believe in God, a fear. Don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like it makes sense, and like the ideal would be like, oh, we can get you past your fear, but like I don't know if everyone can, and so it's kind of really rough. Like I've thought about like there's so many contradictions, particularly in my parents' version of Christianity, that if I wanted to do that, like, Reddit atheist debate lord kind of thing, and go in and just be like, rip the book apart and show all the contradictions and all that, I could do that. And,
It wouldn't
thinking
work.
about it, well, no, it wouldn't change their mind. It would only like drive a massive wedge. There's already like enough of a gap between us, but it would basically just like completely sever whatever chance of a relationship we have. But like the thought that really kind of struck me about it was like, would I even want to? Like, what would that do to my mom? She's been like a God fearing, like faithful believer her whole life. Like, what do I really want when she's like, turning 60 to like be like, hey, by the way, everything you ever thought was a lie and nothing is real. Like, would I really do that to my mom if I could? And it's like, I don't know. That doesn't sound right.
I have the
I
same
like
thought with my father. He has prostate cancer now, so he's getting chemotherapy and whatnot. And his
mhm,
wife of 15 years, his most recent wife, died of breast cancer. He has nothing, he
mhm,
doesn't have a lot. And he started getting very religious after her death. And he's been going to the Catholic Church. So when I meet with him, I consider it like a form of dementia that half of our conversation has to be about the saints in the Catholic
right,
Church and that he
right,
believes it so much. But he's my dad, and I know he believes it, and I know it's the one thing that gives him comfort. And there was another time too where my daughter, who doesn't believe as a consequence of me not believing, was having a real rough time in her life. And I remember thinking, I wish she'd find religion. And I told her once, I
sure,
said, "Have you considered going to church?" It's crazy coming from my mouth, but I thought it would help her because if you have someone in your mind that you think is always watching and loves you no matter what, it could be pretty helpful as a concept. And I don't want to take that away from my dad the way you didn't want to take it from your mother. I think you're making the right decision. You only got one shot
yeah.
with your mother. You don't want to, because in the off shot that it worked and you took away her religion, what would she have left?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, that'd be brutal. Like, why would I do that? Like, hey, welcome to meaningless existence, Ma. Good luck. Like, what
Yeah.
would that do?
I have another friend out of the Netherlands. We used to do a podcast together called the Mark and George Show. And Mark didn't believe in God, but he's married to a wife that's religious. And he told me, "Hey, yeah, I decided to be Roman Catholic." I'm like, "What?" "Yep. No, I believe in Roman Catholicism now. Catholicism now." I'm like, "Really? You just like decided?" And I thought, that's kind of cool. It's kind of nice to have all the answers. Like, I actually envy people that have all the answers. They're not questioning whether existence is going to continue after life. They know it's going to continue after life, right? That's kind of cool,
Right.
right?
Yeah, I want to agree with you, and a part of me does. I'd be lying if there wasn't a part of me that still didn't have some of that angry, edgy atheist thing, where it's like, yeah, but they're wrong. But I'm definitely kind of working through. It's like, yeah, but okay, are they happy? Are they a hateful person? Are they like helping and like living a good life? Then if they are, not bad and they're doing good, like what
Well,
does
to
it
be fair, Jack,
matter to
we
me?
don't want to be on our high horse because we really don't know either. I mean,
No,
it
yeah,
could be that Christianity is like, it could be that there's a certain sect in Christianity that nails it. Did you watch the show called the Good Place?
no, I've heard of it, but
So
I haven't
there's
seen
a
it.
thing they do in the Good Place where basically it's, without ruining anything, it's heaven, right? Let's just say that's what it is.
Mhm.
And they're talking about the one guy that figured it all out. There's one guy on earth that figured it all out. It was that one guy. It's kind of funny. I thought, yeah, that's probably true. There's enough differing opinions that maybe one guy figured it out. I want to address some things in the chat. One thing that was
Sure,
interesting
sure.
is Almanac said, isn't the rape covered by not coveting your neighbor's wife? I don't think so. I think we should. It doesn't say don't kill thy neighbor's wife. It says thou shalt not kill. And it doesn't say thou shalt not covet, right? I think there should be an overall commandment to say, hey, don't touch other people that don't want to be touched. I feel like that should be a good commandment. Hot Dokete says, I don't believe in any particular conception of God, but I believe there is more to this existence than materialism. The biological robots in a meaningless universe type of view. I do agree. I would like to believe there's something more than just existence, right? I do think there's something that connects us humans, some gel, some mysterious ether that connects us all, because that's why we sometimes, when you meet somebody, you get this feeling that they're a good person. You get a vibe, you get a little chill sometimes. And sometimes you meet someone and you go, yeah, this person doesn't work for me. I think there's some connection that we make that we don't understand. And is it possible? Yeah. Why wouldn't it be? There's there's antimatter, right? There's matter that we can't see. Maybe that matter is what connects us all.
Yeah, I mean, like I can't know anything for certain, right? Like, I'm sure you've heard of like the teapot, the floating teapot thing,
Yeah, Richard
or
Dawkins brought that up.
yeah,
The
or
teapot that
the
floats
last Thursdayism.
at the Lagrange point, I guess, between the moon
Yeah, what
and the Earth,
whatever
and
the
you can say that
yeah.
it's there, but you can't prove it or not prove it. There's another version of that I like, not a version of it, but a much more stronger mind trick that you can do. It's called Last Thursdayism, and it's the
Yeah, I know that
concept
one.
that the Earth and everything about it, and all of your beliefs and all the stories that we've created, literally everything was created last Thursday. You cannot disprove it. Yeah, but I have memories. Those were created last Thursday. Yeah, but I was born.
Right,
That was last Thursday. All of that.
right.
I
Or
love
like
that. That's my favorite.
that's like a
Or there were a burning of a vat.
simulation theory is another one.
Which one?
Simulation theory.
Yeah, exactly. You can't. If we are in a simulation, everything that we see would be a simulation, and you
Right,
couldn't prove it. We would, like, fish don't know they're in the water. Same thing.
right. What's
Yeah,
the
it's fun when you think about it.
yeah, no, I mean I fully acknowledge that, but like for me, and I think when it comes to the like big metaphysical beliefs, whether it's like God or the nature of reality and all that kind of stuff, to me it only matters insofar as it gives you a good life or a foundation for a good life. If your like big metaphysical belief is causing you to be a like tormented person because you're worried about hell, or it causes you to be like a self-righteous prick because you think you're the smartest atheist in the world, like that's a problem, and that's something you probably need to work on internally. But other than that, like if your big top belief is whatever it is, if it's flying spaghetti monster, last Thursdayism, or any religion or whatever, as long as, like I said, it's giving you a foundation to like live a good life, I don't think there's any reason to say that that's wrong. Like I'm mostly a materialist and like hard determinist, but there's like a tiny window of like, yeah, but maybe there's like a oneness to all things and that kind of thing. And it's like, can I prove that? No. Do I have any like rational reason to think that? No. Does it make me feel good? Yes. So okay,
Yeah, there is that big problem of where did it all come from? And if there is a creator, well, where did the creator come from? And it's very possible in my mind that there is a creator and that creator has yet another creator on top of them. But then where did that creator come from?
sure.
I don't think there's two things that I cannot fathom. I cannot fathom that there isn't I can't fathom something coming from nothing. And I also can't fathom nothing. I can't imagine there ever being a time when there was nothing, but then I also can't fathom something coming from nothing. So in other words, I have no understanding about anything. What does it all mean?
Yeah,
I have no
sure.
idea.
For sure. I mean, like, one of the thoughts, one of the like head scratchers that I'm not going to pretend like I understand or anything, but it's one that kind of like, I don't know, it just scratches my brain in a good way, is like, what if there was no beginning, and that's something we're kind of just stuck on because of the way that our minds work?
Yeah,
and
we
that
are very
actually
limited in our thinking.
Right. And so what if the idea of like, oh, the universe had to have a beginning? Well, did it? Like maybe it just maybe there's no beginning and no end in that kind of like in the way that we think.
Baby Bear says, yeah, but I have a receipt that says I bought something 2 months ago. Here's the problem with that. People that believe in God have actual real things that happen to them in their heart that they can't square away with. The only thing they can, it's got to be something other than themselves. I even have, I've talked about it before. I won't run through it again, but I also have had religious experiences. I just interpreted it initially when I believed in God as the devil. Now it's like maybe it's a multidimensional being. I don't know, but it could probably just something in my brain got triggered. I don't know what it is, but I think a lot of people will use that as proof to their religion, but it's not like it's not real. It is real. These things do happen to people. Can they hold it in their hand and show it to you? No. But you also can't show a lot of things from your past, but it really happened to you, right? You can't prove love. You can't show love in your heart, right? You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of non-physical things, Almanacs. Hang on. I've sent the link a few times. Violet, you might want to come into this. I know you had a lot of things to talk about from yesterday. Violet took 8 pages of notes from yesterday's stream about Charlie Kirk and what Kyle was saying. What time is it? I don't even know what time it is over there. It might be, she has work, I believe. It's 7:25 in the morning. She should come into this, honestly. Anyone's welcome to come in, by the way. I'm not trying to kick Jack out at all. He's been great.
I see how it is.
Jack's actually God. He's been talking to me through my headset.
That's right.
Almanac says any human should be allowed to believe whatever they desire. Whatever improves your life but makes you a better person is good for you. That's what Jack was saying too. But it becomes dangerous when it gets dogmatized. You're not in the general chat though, Violet. You need to be in the general chat of the Polyglot George. In the general voice chat. That's where you need to be. Askerton says, Kirk said some wild stuff. He did. He absolutely did. I heard more of it today than I heard of yesterday. It's Violet said, I would love to join, but I just woke up and I got to get Oliver ready. Oliver is her son. I can join, but I'll be distracted. Yeah. Well, it's up to you. You know, you're missing out. That's all I'm saying. You're missing out. Oh my God, it's so weird. I cannot see what I'm looking at with these glasses.
What's with the glasses? Did you have like?
No, my glasses broke. I have a normal set of. I mean, look. Normally, I've had the the transition glasses that when you go outside they become sunglasses. I had those forever for like the last 2 or 3 pair of glasses, and this time I thought, oh, it might be cool to have like a dedicated pair of prescription sunglasses. So I made these.
Right.
These are really accidentally. These are BMWs. They're really cool.
So yeah, I thought you were just like flexing on us, honestly.
Oh, did you know they were BMWs?
No, I just thought you were.
No. So about an hour ago, I was laying in bed just chillaxing, and I got up and I took my glasses off, and I took them off a little bit weird, and they just snapped. The arm fell off of them. So yeah, but I've already ordered 2 pair of new glasses while I'm here in Korea. So those are going to arrive on Tuesday, and tomorrow now I have a new mission to go get this set repaired because it's just that the arm came off. There's probably a way to reattach it, and then I'll have normal glasses again. I'm not trying to flex though. Although I do like the aesthetic of sunglasses. I think it's cool.
I thought you were a cool dude who wears sunglasses.
I mean,
indoors is all.
It's the sunglasses that make me cool. Hey, Archis, do you want to say something? That's Violet, by the way. At least say hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hope you're having a great morning. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
was just gonna build off of your, like, you were talking about how we're kind of all connected and stuff, and that's heavily how I feel. And I've told you before, and I'm probably gonna sound crazy, but I'm pretty certain I pick up on energies from other people.
Oh, I 100% think there's energies from other people. Is it a constant thing that I always feel? No, I just feel it every now and then. I get a vibe. That's the only way I know how to explain it.
Yeah, it usually feels like a vibe, or sometimes it's just like this constant, like, impression. I don't know how to explain it really. It's like just a feeling.
I think the scary thing is that there are probably people that understand that power and know how to abuse it. Almanac says, admit it, you just don't want us to be able to tell that you're stoned. Well, first of all, I'm in Korea. There's absolutely no way I would be able to be stoned here, at least not easily. And number two, I've been stoned one time in my life, and I don't think I remember actually being stoned. I've only heard anecdotally that I was stoned. I think I was 40, and my trainer, the guy that was training me at the gym, bought me a joint, or he took me to the I forgot what they're called, the dispository. What's it called? Depository?
Dispensaries.
Dispensary. Thank you. Took me to a dispensary, and they actually give you in Vegas. A lot of them will give you a joint for free if it's your birthday, if you could show your like license.
What?
I don't know if you knew that. So I
Wild
I
place.
took the joint. We walked for a bit, and I took maybe 6 tokes of that joint, 6 I think, and then we went to the bank, and he said. I said I wasn't stoned, but he said, dude, you were in line for like an hour at the bank. And I remember being in line thinking, this is taking a long time. And I was thinking, what is this lady doing? And maybe I was just stoned. I don't know.
Pretty funny. All right, I gotta run. I gotta get ready for school. So I hope
All
you
right.
have a great stream.
Hey,
dude.
thanks for joining the discussion, Jack. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Anytime. Have a good one.
Yep. See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Hot Doquete says, not believing in any spiritual reality is a very recent anomalous phenomenon in the human experience. Is it? And we think we are so wise and advanced. Such hubris. I think you can go quite a ways back and find people that don't believe in anything. I think that it exists. To be fair,
100%.
right? Who did Socrates believe? I don't know. Like there's got to be people. I mean, think about it. You had, the people that believed in Zeus. How long ago was that? Maybe the point is that there was always something that people believed. I mean, to be fair, I don't have a lack of belief. I just believe a cornucopia of different things together.
Yeah, my belief system is kind of like a hodgepodge of a bunch of different things. Like for the most part, I'd say I'm mostly atheist, but also like I touch on deism a little bit, you know.
I mean, it would be really cool if there was a
for-
God.
Yeah, I mean, for those who knows or don't know, like deism is kind of like the idea that there's this source, or this, you know, you can call it God. I don't care. I don't prefer to call it God, but like there's this thing that we can't fully understand, but it doesn't have like any direct care about us.
I've always felt that if there was a creator, he put us together, but he ain't paying attention. He doesn't know who we are. You know, George Carlin talked about what he would believe in, and he said it would be the sun. And I love this argument so much. It's so true when you think about it. You know, if you listen to what he said, the sun literally warms us. It literally provides food for us. It tells us when to wake up, when to go to bed, unless you're counting places like Alaska or somewhere. But it's really cool, and you can see it. It's right
It's
there.
essentially the source of life already.
Yeah.
So
without the sun, we don't exist. So maybe every star is a god. And think about it. The sun will
that's an
kill you.
interesting take.
The sun will kill you as much as it'll keep you alive. It is, And what if the Bible is just based on that? I heard some theory a long time ago that like the solstice, or what is it, the summer equinox, where the sun
Yeah.
goes below the horizon and then 3 days later rises. That's Jesus Christ. That might be a pagan thing that got adopted. I don't know, but there is that
Probably, yeah.
theory as well, that scientists that figured
Not
that out just
well-versed in paganism.
put a name to it. You know, I probably should study more paganism. Honestly, I'm probably a paganist.
My friend's pagan. Well, yeah,
Are there
the
active
most part.
paganists right now?
absolutely.
Huh. And what, I mean, primarily,
Like
what do
you'll
they
find on
believe?
TikTok, like it's more of like spiritual meets nature, like Mother Earth kind of stuff, with spirituality kind of wrapped into it.
Interesting.
And okay, so my friend Jackie, I think we've had this discussion before, and I think she kind of identifies as pagan, or leans that way. Uh, she also can pick up on energies. Hers is a little different though. She has told me in the past that sometimes she can see. I don't know if these are energies or whatever, but she can. Because like I don't know if you believe in different planes of existence.
Who, me personally?
Yeah. Have you thought of it like different planes of existence? Like
You mean like different
like
dimensions?
yeah.
Yeah, I definitely
essentially.
have thought of it. I have this general thought that maybe that's where we go when we dream. That would be a cool concept, that we go to these planes of existence when we dream.
Yeah. Or astral project.
Or we astral. Well, I believe in my craziness that I have astral projected multiple times. So I definitely believe in that. Whatever astral projection is, I don't know if we're actually leaving our body or some trick that the brain does. I've had that phenomena before. You know,
Oh, yeah. So like astral projection is supposed to be like when you're still tied to your body, energy soul wise, but it's like your consciousness is what travels.
right.
Which is why like the out of body experience that people experience when they're about to die, or they come back to life. That's kind of in a sense, but it's
They
not
float
astral
like
because
above their
they're not.
body.
Yeah, it's not astral. Because they're not traveling to like another solar system or something. That's essentially what astral projection is, or when you cover a long distance. But yeah, out of body experience is very similar.
There was
But she,
an interesting guest on Coast to Coast AM, which is that radio show here in America that it talks about this paranormal stuff. But apparently, a lot of people, when they astral project, they go above their body, right? They float above. But there are people that sink. And I thought that was interesting. There are people
Oh.
that sink below their body. And one theory was
That's interesting.
maybe those people are going to hell and the other people are going to heaven. And I thought that would be scary to think, oh no, I'm falling into hell.
no, they just live on the other side, on the underside of the planet.
Liam says, if someone today calls themselves a pagan, it just means they're a girl that's into crystals and fairies.
Wow.
Almanac says, but there has been hundreds, if not thousands, I believe it is officially thousands, of religions throughout history, all claiming to be the one true faith. What are the odds of all of them being wrong and the one now finally is true? Exactly. I think it was Mark Twain, and I never can remember the exact quote. He says, but the folly that which I look at other people's religions makes me question my own. If you can look at all these other religions and go, they are so wrong. Oh my God, they're so dumb. How could they believe that? You've got to be able to turn your gaze inwards and go, oh, I too am crazy if I can believe the things that I believe.
Well, that's like they say Christians are already 99% atheist.
Yeah, I think it was Gervais. What's that guy's first name?
Oh, Ricky
Gervais. He's great on this topic. He's really well versed when he talks about it. He's like, we already believe 99%. Like I believe there's no religion that is true. You believe one less than that.
Exactly.
And I was like, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Glaceon says, paganism is cooking frogs in a pot with a pointy hat. Actually, that is Wiccan. That's being Wiccan, right? That's being a witch.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting ready.
No, you're good. You're good. Guys, I'm going to post the link to the Discord. Anyone is welcome to join and join the discussion, whether you have whether you're trolling or not. I imagine eventually there'll be people that come in here and troll an
I'm
opinion.
surprised Glacian's not in here.
Glaceon, I have talked to him before. He's actually too busy. I think he's at work right now.
No.
Yeah, that's my thing when I think about religion. It didn't take hundreds of religions or thousands of religion. It just took that my girlfriend's parents, who had heard the word of God from my girlfriend, were going to go to hell because they rejected it. But they were the kindest people that I knew. And they're just
That is such
Buddhist.
an insane concept.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you hear people talk, apparently the Bible doesn't even talk about hell. You know, there's people that will say, well, there really isn't a hell based on the Bible. But I'm like, well, which version of the Bible are you talking about? Because there are books that talk
Right.
about it, right?
I love how the way they talk about the Old Testament versus the New Testament and how like one negates the other. And it's just like, well, then why do you?
Yeah, I always think it's interesting that God wrote a book, right? And then he had to make a revision. And he had to erase all of Earth. He had to have the flood, even though he's all knowing and he knew that was going to happen. And then he had to send his son to erase all of our sins. But he came down as himself, but as his son. It's confusing.
Right. I don't understand that.
The story is filled with so
And
many
then he
holes.
killed himself.
Well, he didn't
Then he
kill
killed
himself.
himself.
He let himself get killed. He didn't kill himself.
Oh, right.
Right. He died on the cross for our sins.
Or the idea that people can do evil things like mass murders and stuff like that, and then somehow repent and then still go to heaven is.
Well,
But exactly. But the person that doesn't believe, it goes to hell.
Yeah.
Like that just is beyond.
because the formality that they didn't repent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just wild.
Look, when I was 9, I gave myself to the Lord and got baptized. Therefore, I've been forgiven. I can do whatever. That's what that means, right? I got a free pass.
I mean, yeah, technically.
I'm sure that's not the case. I'm sure someone that actually knows the Bible would tell me where I'm so wrong. Almanac says, I just don't like the idea of life being a competition for better seats in the afterlife. Well, unfortunately, Almanacs, all of life is a competition. That's why in our imaginary world, in the afterlife, we also are still competing with other people. Hot Dokete says, personally, I find Sufism, Taoism, and Buddhism most interesting. It's the same for me, Hot. Whenever I hear anything really good, I go, what is that? And I'll find out that it's Buddhism. And I'm like, oh, Buddhism is where I need to be then. Also,
Buddhism's more of a philosophy, is it not?
You're right.
remember correctly.
I guess my understanding is
Because
that
they don't believe.
the first
They don't
Buddhist,
believe in God.
well, the first Buddha, Gautama Buddha, I guess, he did say, I'm not a god and this isn't a religion. However, in America, I believe we treat it as a religion. What's your religion? I'm Buddhist, we'll say.
Well, because Americans are pretty ignorant.
Yeah. But I think if you go to other countries, there's a lot of ignorant people in all countries. I've seen it in Japan. I've seen it in Korea. I think overall you have a lot of smart people here, but I've seen idiotic people here as well. I mean, if you were in 22, you didn't know me yet back then, Violet, but in 2023, I was reporting about the craziest girl ever on these streams here. I mean, she was absolutely clinically insane, believing that there were people after her for information that she had yet to collect. And she had written a letter to American senators. She had written letter to senators to get help from the CIA. And she was trying to enlist me to help her save herself. Why? Again, for information that she did not yet have about some crypto bros that were going to kill her if she gave people that information that she does not yet have nor knows anything about. She was
What would you do?
absolutely
What would
insane.
you do if like it turned out to be true and then they did?
That'd be interesting. But there's no way it was true. Because I asked her,
Yeah,
like,
no.
what information do you have? Nothing. She said nothing. The funniest part about that whole situation was
Sounds like psychosis.
it 100% was. But the funniest thing about that whole situation is the night that she told me, she literally pulled me aside and explained her fears, right? And it was so crazy, but I kept entertaining it. I kept asking more and more information. And then when she eventually left, and I told one of the other guys what she had told me, I told her how crazy she was. And then he went home and he said he got on the phone and he was talking about what he had heard from me about how crazy that girl was. And she had said that people are following her. People are always sabotaging her, trying to do things to her. And here's what happened. He got off the bus and she was right in front of him. He literally
What?
said all of that in earshot of her, proving
Whoa.
that people are sabotaging her
Oh my god.
and following her.
Confirmation right there for
Right?
her.
It was insanely funny to me.
She's like, I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah. Funny thing is, she didn't mention it to me. When I saw her, it was about the second to last night I was in Korea last time, and she kept texting me on Kakao Talk, which is the Korean messaging system. She's like, we need to meet. And I'm like, look, it's like my second to last night here. I really don't want to, but she said it was important. So I was like, you know what, look, I'm going to go get ramen right now. If you're in the area, just come. So she came to get ramen. I bought her some ramen. And at one point she started going into her delusion. And I said, listen, stop, listen, hear me out. No one's after you. You have made this up in your mind and you've built it up into your mind, but there's no one after you. No one has talked to me about you. No, I don't see anyone in this room that's looked at you once since we've been here, and you don't even have any information. And I thought it was going to work. But then she's
No.
like, can I borrow your phone? Like, you want to borrow my phone? You don't have a phone? My battery's dead. I was like, oh, okay. So I held my phone in my hand and I gave her, she wanted to use Kakao Talk. But what she ended up doing was scrolling through my Kakao Talks to see if I had been talking about her to the other crew that were going to kill her. And I was like, what are you doing? And I let her look. I was like, that's my friend Gao Yong. You can go read. There's nothing that, it didn't work though. Definitely still believed all of it in the end. Oh my God. Every time I make that movement in the chair, I did not fart, guys. That was not a fart, for the record. Can you even hear it when I do that? I don't know. It just sounds like a fart to me. It's the greatest sound, actually. Almanax says, so happy I'm not George's wife. If he truly goes through life thinking everything is a competition and the goal is to come first. You know what, Almanax? Yeah. Everything is a competition. 100% it's a competition. I think so. I think I compete with everybody. I compete with Violet. But
Yes.
she kicks my ass in StarCraft, so she's winning. If you want to watch those games, they're over on the George Trombley Creates channel. I'm going to be posting the link.
Oh, I see what they were talking about. I don't.
What were they talking about?
They weren't talking about competition in that regard.
What were they talking about?
They said if he truly goes through life thinking everything is a competition and the goal is to come first.
Yeah, I read that and I agreed. That's what I think. It is a competition.
No, they're talking about your wife. Never mind.
Oh, they were being funny. I get it. I mean, my goal is to come first. What? What did you say?
That's what it said. So
I come
happy
so
I'm
first
not-
that I handle myself before I get to my wife. What are you talking about? Kyle says, Tyler Robinson. Who's that? I don't know. Got him. Who's Tyler Robinson? Do you know who that is?
I don't know who that is.
Not sure who that is. That's Kyle. You had a bunch of notes. What's the biggest takeaway from yesterday? I know you're going to eventually have to leave us.
No.
Out of because you had a lot of things you wanted to say about theoretically or to Kyle. What's your biggest takeaway? I think your biggest
you put
takeaway
me
was that
on the
I'm
spot.
easily influenced.
Yes, you were very easily
I was
influenced.
swept right into the Kyle train of thought.
That's what I think.
Yeah. You think I got sucked into believing? I mean, did you see the point where Kyle got convinced by something I said that
Right.
we should allow
it all
abortion?
everything got good towards the end where you were actually giving him pushback. But the first hour, like, it just felt like you were kind of glazing him a little.
Hear me out. Maybe I was just listening to what he was saying and trying to understand his point of view.
Well, that's great. You didn't offer that to me yesterday.
Well, it's competition. Everyone needs to come first.
Oh my god.
Amanok says, George, if I stick a smiley on anything, it's probably a joke. Oh, I don't have that sound effect here. There's a sound effect.
Like it. I don't like it.
I'm trying to look for my daughter's one that says, fuck that shit, but that's on my one at home. Glaceon says, I'm going to work my magic and influence him. Glaceon, you're the last person that will influence me. You're such a joke with your cactus farm and your book 3 is goated and your memes. So if anyone wants to join the discussion, I have posted the link, a few links up to the Discord. Don't be shy. I won't take your credit card. We're just having a fun time chatting. Wait, are you working today? Isn't it Sunday for you? Saturday for you? Oh no, it's Friday for you. No, what day is it for you?
Me?
I don't know anything. What time is it for you? It's 7:40 a.m. Friday for you.
It's Friday. It's Friday morning.
So you have work, right?
Yeah, I have work.
Yeah.
I'm currently about to feed the cats.
Nice. Nice. You are their god.
All 5 of them. Yeah. My biggest thing about your stream yesterday is that doing good things doesn't necessarily make you a good person.
What makes you a good person?
It comes down to the things that you do. And
whoa. I don't know if you realize what you just said. You said doing good things doesn't make you a good person. I said, what makes you a good person? You said it's the things that you do. That's literally.
Okay. I'm trying to get ready. This is what I was saying.
Don't make that excuse. Clear that thought. Come on. No.
Okay. So your argument yesterday about Charlie Kirk was that because he was a good family man or whatever, that they were like redeeming factors for the fact that he was spewing and spreading hateful rhetoric that was fueling like a hateful perspective in politics. And going back, that words have power, so they're not entirely empty.
Okay. I'd have to watch the stream again to remember exactly what I said, but I don't think I said because he's a good family man that I forgave what he said. I said I watched 50 or so of his videos and I enjoyed the way he was doing the discourse back and forth. The negative things that he's said, I've seen a few of them, but I've not seen the context of what he was saying. But what I had seen, which to be fair was released on his channel, so it's skewed whichever way he wants that, or his editors want that channel to look like. But he looked like he allowed for discourse. And yes, did he say some things that I didn't like? Even in his own releases, there was things he said that I didn't like. But did that make him a bad person? No, I didn't think so from what I had seen. After that, I have seen other things that he said, and I said, oh, okay, that seems a little bit racist. That seems a little bit one-sided in thinking. But out of everyone on the right side that I've seen, I liked him the most. I think he had a
I mean,
smoother
if you're gonna
presentation.
compare him to the people on the right, he's probably not the worst.
Okay. Well, I do think you should be careful about, honestly, lumping everyone onto the right, because that's what a lot of people on the
Well,
right do. A lot of people on the left do. We keep lumping everybody onto one side, and there's a lot of nuance in it.
right.
There's a lot of
Well,
people
I
that are
mean,
great people, but
we
they have
talked
shitty
about
opinions.
that. We talked about that a little bit as well, like how, there are fiscally conservative Republicans who don't follow that ideology of hate and racism and marginalized groups. So, but I'm just speaking in generalities because, I'm going to say, oh, the Trump supporters and the people who necessarily like it becomes like a long
A long list of reasons why they're bad, you mean?
no, a long list of like type of people,
Mhm.
because like if you're going to talk about crazy people on the left, then you got to say, okay, well, we're talking about like the super hardcore vegans that storm restaurants, and then the environmentalists that are extreme. Like you're not going to sit there and label out all of the different groups that encompass the left. They always say that the left.
Right. Yeah, that was my
That's
problem with
probably what they're talking about.
that was my problem with Steven Crowder's message, when it was just very anti-left, and just anyone that doesn't think like like he does needs to be on a hair trigger defense. In other words, be very aggressive in how you defend yourself, because it's a real
Yeah.
war essentially. Deeper Down says Stephen King just tweeted this: I apologize for saying Charlie Kirk advocated stoning gays. What he actually demonstrated was how some people cherry pick biblical passages. Oh, is that what happened? See, I'll tell you what, I only saw someone post all the bad things he said. Like I said, I hadn't seen it in context, so I don't know what he was talking about in that moment. I remember, there's just so many times I've seen where people will take one small segment and not talk about the rest of what that person was saying. It happened with me the other day. Remember, Violet, when I had that issue with my daughter, where she released a video and then I made a comment video back, and it spiraled out of control,
Yeah.
because the first half of the video was me talking about my history with my daughter and how bad my history was with my daughter. But the second half was me talking about how that crappy history turned into something amazing. But people in the middle of that video were saying, oh my God, your dad hates you. And they were taking clips of that and sending that to my daughter. And my daughter was like,
Yeah.
I already know my dad hates me. I've always known it. And it just made this thing bigger and bigger and bigger. I ended up removing the video. I couldn't win. I learned right away that the first thing you need to do is say exactly what you want to say, and then say, now let me give you some history. You have to start with the message and not lead to the message. I love to lead to the message because I want to tell a story, but so that's possible that what people are doing when Charlie Kirk says those bad things is he might be leading to something. It still might be a bad message. It still might be something that's shitty, but it wasn't as bad as people are probably making it out to be. That's what I think. Because the
Right, no, I
videos
get
that I
that.
saw of Charlie Kirk, he seems like he was open to discourse. I liked how he dealt with people. He seemed to be very protective, even of people that had the opposite opinion of him. His sole goal was to bring people over to his shitty opinion, right? What we consider a shitty opinion. And I can respect that. I have a lot of shitty opinions that I push people to believe. Trust me, the people that love Pitch Accent think my opinion is shitty, and I push hard to bring them over to my shitty opinion about Pitch Accent. Go ahead.
Sorry,
You're getting ready, I know.
I'm getting ready. I'm putting ice in my drink cup. But like yesterday, you said that I was closed-minded and I had to defend that. But you didn't say that about Charlie
You are
Kirk, and
stuck
he
in a
was-
bubble.
No, I'm not.
You
We've
literally-
discussed this. I told you.
No one thinks they're closed-minded, trust me. Nobody thinks that. I mean, I'm probably closed-minded myself, but I don't get me to admit it, right? I think I'm super open-minded, but you
But
were
here's the
literally
thing
saying
is-
Charlie Kirk is a bad person, yesterday
He
is
is.
so hardcore. I think you're close-minded. I think you need to look at a person overall. I think Steven Crowder is a way worse person than Charlie Kirk because I know more about Steven Crowder's personal life. But do I hate Steven Crowder? No. Do I understand
here's
Steven
the thing,
Crowder
though,
is
like-
a bad person? I don't think he's a bad person. I just think
Someone-
he's not as good as Charlie Kirk. I like Charlie Kirk more. That's all I'm
Someone
saying.
could be, and I know people who are like this. Someone can be the nicest person. They could, donate and volunteer. They can do all these things. They can be so considerate of others. But then in the moment it comes to find out, like they're racist or they, believe that.
Can a racist person not be good in a lot of things, but just bad in that one opinion?
But just because what I'm saying is, I feel there are certain lines that we draw. There are certain things that we have to decide that there's no coming back from.
I disagree, and I'll
could
tell
be
you
the
why.
nicest
I'll tell you why I disagree. I have strong evidence that the most racism comes from a lack of understanding, a lack of experience. Here in Korea, Koreans, there's a lot of hate for Japan because of the war, and there's still enough propaganda from the right side of Korea, the pro-Korea side of Korea, that make Japan look bad. And a lot of misinformation about Japan makes a lot of people hate Japan. But universally, I have not yet met one person that hates Japan, that's been there or has a friend that's Japanese. The moment they have been to Japan or made a Japanese friend, they love Japan. It's universal. Everyone that I ask that loves Japan, they have been there. Everyone I ask that does not love Japan has never been there and has no friends. And it doesn't matter the age group either. So I think
Right.
someone that
What
doesn't
I-
like
what I'm
black
saying,
people
though, is,
doesn't know enough black people, or they haven't had enough experiences with black people.
Okay, that's fair. But if someone is trying to influence others to also not like black people,
That's their right.
or
That's their right.
make policies against other people. I mean, whether we're not, well, I'm not speaking in terms of being right. I'm trying to speak in terms of
I'm just
morality.
saying. Well, but how do you determine that as a morality? I remember one time I was watching this guy. I can't remember. I wish I could remember his name, but he was a really smart man. His Japanese was impeccable, like super brilliant speaker. And he was debating someone about how we shouldn't mix the races. And he had a lot of information about how mixing the races causes this division and it causes more crime. And he wasn't saying black people were bad. He was saying mixing the races is bad. And he said, even putting people together in he says people by themselves segregate. Like there's black neighborhoods and there's Puerto Rican neighborhoods. And I was like, this is all interesting. I had never thought about that. And for a moment I was like, huh. And I caught myself. I thought, this is how I'm going to become a racist, right? But he wasn't making arguments that felt wrong. So is it possible that Charlie has seen similar things and is convicted to that in a good way, not a bad way? But when we look at it, because we have a different way of thinking, I know this is middleist. You've claimed I was a middleist or I get it. But I'm just saying we have to understand that if they're in their little bubble, they just haven't been out of it enough to see that what they're doing isn't the only solution. And by the way, it's very possible that what that guy was saying is right, that we shouldn't mix the races, right? But America has proven that that's probably not the case because we've mixed the races and we got to quite a level of greatness being a bunch of people together. It's tricky. I think you're thinking of Jared Taylor, senator born in Japan. I feel like it was some guy with the last name Auer or Zauer or something like that in his name. I don't remember.
Okay. But what about those people who are racist and also believe that we should essentially unalive people because of their race?
You should not be able to
say
call
there's-
for violence against people. That is wrong.
Right.
I think that's where you draw the line on free speeches, and we do a good job. You can't yell fire in a theater when there isn't a fire. You can't call for the violence against people unless you're a Republican. So that was me being funny. D King says the issue is that someone being racist nowadays is more of a label and not an objective truth. That's possible. That's possible. Like without naming names, I know people that have said the most racist things but don't do anything racist at all. They say it as if they're a racist, but then they don't act on it. So I think the human brain is extremely complicated, and if you go through the 20 years or so that I've been on YouTube, you can find me saying opposite of everything I've said at least once. It's there. I don't fully know what I'm saying half the time. YouTube is censoring your comments? That's funny. I mean, this is kind of a loaded subject. Almanac says, playing devil's advocate, Violet does not tolerate racism, but judges people on their political beliefs, as evidenced by the many references to the bad people on the right. Is that not the same thing?
Wait, let me read this. Hold on.
I'll read it again. Playing devil's advocate, Violet does not tolerate racism, but judges people on their political beliefs, as evidenced by the many references to the bad people on the right. Is that not the same thing? Are you being, quote unquote, racist against people's opinion? Like, are you anti-racist people being the same? I don't even know how to wrap my head around it. Are you racist if you don't agree with someone that's racist? Is that what that means?
Is that what they're asking?
I don't know. Here, I'll flip it. I'll flip it in a real world sense, though. My daughters are half Japanese, but they have met so much racism being half Japanese. They've met it in Japan for being half white and for being different, more than for being different, and then in America for being Asian, right? But one day I heard, I think it was either Arisa or Mark, but they were talking to each other. I don't remember which one said it, but they're like, right? The only people that could be racist are white people. I'm like, what? And they're like, white men are the problem. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. You are half white man. I'm your father. Am I the problem? You know, it's different. You're different. Well, then why would you say that? That's extremely racist what you just said. No, only white people can be racist. Because apparently you have to be in the power position to be racist. But I've always hated that opinion, because if you look at a group of people and judge them based on their race, that's racist. That's not because you are in a person. There's probably another term for it if you're in a position of power, but not just being racist. Are you racist for not agreeing with Violet? That's a good question.
No. It's not so simple.
I do think you're not as open-minded as me, though, if I'm looking at it that way. You are much more stuck in your belief system than I am. I'm willing to think way outside of my box, so much that I bet people would claim that I am one way that I'm not.
No, so I'm terrible at debating, because I've got so much stuff going on in my head. It takes me a minute to process things sometimes. And I do have a very open mind. I told you like where I came from, and I'm always open to listening to other perspectives. But the thing is often the argument has no weight. So does me shutting down someone's opinion because it doesn't hold on its own automatically make me closed-minded? No, I don't think so. But if their reasoning is compelling enough or logical enough or justifiable enough, then yeah, I will listen to it. But if it's like, you know, if it can't on its own, then I don't entertain the idea.
Look, you got to have faith.
I think.
Can I address?
I will say I'm intolerant to intolerance.
I think you've said one. I really like what you've just said, and I want to address that after I address the first part. I have heard where you came from. You came from the opposite side of the spectrum, as did I. But I think that is natural, that we all grow up with our original programming from our parents. Until we move out of our house and learn about other people. That's why going to college often changes people's way of thinking. It's not that we turn people Democrat in college. It's that you grow up in a conservative household and then you get to see other people of the world and you realize, oh, it's not all like that, and you shift your opinion. I think you just went through that just like I did. I mean, I was also Republican until I left my my family and saw other people. In regards to the other thing that you said, which was what? Hang on. I had a thought on it. I can remember what it was. I do love the concept of not giving stupid ideas the same amount of merit as a good idea. You know, and I can't remember who said it. It might have been Ricky Gervais. It might have been Bill Burr. I don't remember. It was one of those guys. Or it might have been
Ricky Gervais.
It could have been Richard Dawkins. I think it was probably Richard Dawkins in one of his books, which, by the way, he's such a jerk that I have a real hard time listening to his book. He's so pompous sounding that I had to stop listening. I think it was his book was, what was it? Oh, it was one of his famous books. Anyway, he said, if someone comes out of a room and says, I just had a conversation with the chair, and the chair told me that the color brown is green and that green is red, so we need to change the color, we wouldn't give that any validity. We wouldn't respect that opinion. So why should I respect the opinion that you believe in a magic man in the sky and a man that could turn water into wine, walk on water, and was born of a virgin birth? Like, that's so ridiculous sounding when you pull it away from the fact that it's 2,000 years old, which makes it feel legit. If you really look at it on its face value, if you call Jesus Tiki Mook and he turned salt into pepper, if you just change the facts a little bit, it just sounds ridiculous, right? So why would you give that respect when you don't respect these other things? I thought that was a cool way of thinking about it. Like, why do we have to? I respect your religion. Why? It's idiotic from my perspective. Why do I have to respect it? I think that's kind of where you were going, and I do think that's an interesting way of thinking about it.
Yeah, that's exactly. But in terms of everything, like, I do listen to people. I mean, I am very open-minded, but I also listen, you know, like, if it doesn't hold any weight to it. Intolerant to intolerance, only a Sith deals in absolutes. Wow.
Oh, are we looking at the comments now?
I'm definitely not a Sith.
Are we looking at the comments right now? Is that what someone said?
Yeah.
Hot Dokete says, I think the quote unquote rulers like for the quote unquote masses to fight amongst themselves. Machiavelli wrote The Prince 500 years ago. A lot of aggravation comes from poverty, hardship, and stress. I agree. I mean, I said that as much to my friend Kathy as I just really think that we're focusing always on what the left thinks or the right thinks to lump everybody into this 50-50 crowd thing. But really, it's rich people against the people, everyone else. It's the ultra rich sucking up all of the resources of the planet and making it more difficult for us normal people to live. And I say that coming from a position of being very blessed in my financial situation, but I'm nowhere near as blessed as someone like the billionaires that are out there sucking up all of the wealth. Glaceon says, I see through the lies of the Jedi. I don't fear the dark side as you do. Violet is Darth Sidious?
Wow. Okay.
Wow, Glaceon has it in for you. Almanac says, intolerant to intolerance. Only as that's okay. That's the one I missed. Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Should I be tolerant to intolerance? I mean, that would be the flip side.
I think there's probably a term for the way I believe, and it probably is really infuriating. But if you go and listen, no one listens to these things, but if you go listen to my eternal book, 1, 2, and 3, you'll see how I think. But I think there is no right or wrong. I really think if there was a God, that's how he made the world. There is no right or wrong, just what you believe. And I think that is frustrating to somebody because obviously there is a right and wrong, right? Like, you shouldn't kill somebody. You shouldn't make someone sad. Anything that you wouldn't want done to yourself. I mean, the golden rule literally should be the whole rule of the universe. Empathy should be the ruler of the universe. But is it? I don't think so. I think a lot of people don't have empathy for anybody. They only care about themselves. And I know that I have certain amounts of empathy for people. Like I definitely try to have, I've been told by my daughters I'm too empathetic about bad people. You know, people do bad things that go, well, how were they raised? You know,
Yeah.
did they live in poverty their whole life and they were never trained? I feel bad for them. I actually feel bad for people that have never been exposed to, like, you know how many people have never been exposed to there's something other than working for a certain amount of money per hour? It's a real simple concept, but people don't think about it. They're raised that they're going to go through school, they're going to get a degree, they're going to get a job, and they're going to work for a certain wage, right? But they haven't been taught that maybe you could make something. And over the course of 10, 20 years, maybe you'll make a few $1 million selling that thing, right? They're not taught that. They're not taught that you would do something that you make no money on and no guarantee of making money on, but it could earn you money for the rest of your life. They're not given those possibilities. So they grow up to become 30, 40 years old, and they've never considered starting their own company or making anything other than I have to work for money. I look at those people and I feel bad for them. I don't blame them for not being able to do those things. I try to train them. I try to tell them, hey, you could probably make something out of yourself. It's one shot in a million, but if you make it, it's insane. And you'll be happy along the way doing it. But they've never been. No one normally takes me up on that offer. You are, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm trying.
Yeah. I mean, you've always had that entrepreneurial spirit.
I've had my own business
Yeah,
before.
yeah, you've always had that. You've always had that.
Yeah.
But then you gave up for a while, right? You went through some hard times.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I
you
didn't
know,
really
there
like
are
what I
people
was doing,
there,
and then I didn't know what to pivot to.
right. And there's a lot of people that I talk to just like you that we become friends, at least momentarily. And I try to push them in a direction and they're all for it. At least they sound like they're all for it. But then I guess they don't know they can't wrap their head around it. They never get past the that sounds awesome state, you know? Maybe they were just being nice to me. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything. It's I think it's 8:14, by the way.
Yeah, I'm driving.
Oh, wow. That was a nice transition. I didn't even realize you left the house.
I just muted myself.
Nice.
I got quiet for a minute.
I'll post the
No, I
link
just
again.
feel like sometimes stuff like this, because like you only hear a small portion of, you know, where I come from, my beliefs and stuff, and then it's quite easy to just start like putting somebody, like pegging them, you know, based off of what they say in a short amount of time. But there's just so much more to it. It's kind of hard for me to convey everything, like try to condense it all and sum it up into one short, you know, description. It's just so hard for me to do, because I mean, I've spent decades, you know, getting to where I've gotten, kind of thing. And you know what I mean? It's
Wow.
like you can't just take 20 years of self-growth and then try to wrap it up and present it in one, you know.
Don't you think people like Charlie Kirk also deserve that level of understanding? And that they've also been through
Right.
20
At
years
one
of self-growth?
At one point, he was way more liberal.
Maybe the more he learned, the more he saw the truth in life. Maybe we are the ones that have not seen the truth yet. Have you considered that? That we are wrong?
I have considered that, and I can't see how shutting other people out based on differences is the right way to go. I can't agree to that. Because it wasn't just borderline racism. He was also anti-LGBT, and he was anti-women. You know, he was anti.
I agree. I mean, I chalk that up to
marginalized
religion.
group.
I chalk that up to religion, though. There's a lot
Yeah,
of people that are
probably.
religious that believe that. It's just a shitty opinion, in my opinion. But for the people in his group of people that believe the same thing, even women believe that stuff. You know, either there are women that believe women's place is below the man and they shouldn't have any vote. There are people that believe that stuff. It just, and to them, that is their truth, not to us. But I would say that's something that you cannot say what is right or wrong. You can't. It feels right to say women have a vote. But it probably feels right for them to think, well, the household should have a vote. That's the thing they've been pushing recently in some of the right circles, right? Or only people that have property should vote, you know,
But see,
shit like that.
the problem I have with that, it's allowing people to essentially, it's like saying, well, why can't we just admit that women are inferior? That's essentially, if you were to water it down, that's what it
Yeah.
comes to.
Which is crazy because women are way smarter than men most of the time. They're insanely.
We literally birth life.
Well, that doesn't make you smart. That just means you literally
No,
just boiled you down to
but
being a machine that
if
can
we
make
were
can make babies.
right, but like if we were, but I mean, what I'm saying is, if we were playing the devil's advocate, if we were playing that game, you know, what do men and women bring to the table?
You can't have life without a man. No comment, or did you get into an accident?
I'm dropping them off.
Oh, gotcha. You know, here's what I would say about women. As an interpreter, I remember just hearing I heard that, and I found out it's true that women can handle two conversations at once, whereas men have a hard time doing that. And there was an interpreter at the company that I used to go to that was like legendary for simultaneously interpreting while translating documents in hand for the customers, the Japanese people that were there. And there's just no way that I had the brains to do that. But women apparently have that level of sophistication in their brain. D King says, saying something anti-LGBT is not being evil. I agree. It's just an opinion that you have. Someone could say the same about you and label you as evil. Absolutely. And that was my main point, was that I could be anti-abortion and people would hate me for that stance because I'm willing to kill babies, and they could just have a reason to kill me. You know, if someone is anti-LGBT, it just means it's not that something that they're into. You know, I'll be honest. I have no problem with LGBT at all. But the moment I see someone that's transgender on TikTok and they're like, yeah, so like I'm transgender, I move as fast as I can off of it because I don't want my algorithm to be all transgender shit. I don't care about the topic of transgender. I believe transgender people should have rights. I believe they should be able to do whatever they want to do. If they want to sex change, all of that stuff, do it all. Let you become a woman, but I'm not interested in it. I hate the freaking discussion. I absolutely don't want to hear about it. It's so always in my face. Whenever I turn on the radio in Las Vegas, every 5 minutes, the 8:40 a.m. channel brings up transgender in sports. I'm like, how many actual people are there that are transgender? It's so minimal. Why are we talking about it every moment of the day? And by the way, I have two transgender friends, actual really good friends.
It's kind of
I guess I hate it when people make it their whole identity. You know what I mean? Like when gay people do it too, when their whole identity is about being gay. Like it's like it would be just as irritating if my whole identity, which it probably is me being heterosexual. Go ahead.
I wouldn't say that's your whole identity.
I mean, it's a pretty big part of it. I have a whole album talking about polyglot thirst, how I fell in love with girls over language. It is pretty much a part of my identity.
I mean
go ahead. I need a sound effect for that. I mean. Almanac says, each to their own, but if the first thing a person tells me is their pronouns before they even know my name, I've lost any interest in said person. Tim says, about to crash. Thank you. Really enjoyed listening to the banter. Great growth opportunity. Nice meeting you again, Tim. See you in Japan. Hot Dokete says, working together is kind of important for raising kids. True. And then he says, if people could work fewer hours and maintain a decent standard of living, it would be so much better. Agreed. We're gonna be losing Violet
I was
here.
muted.
Were you accidentally muted? Were you talking the whole
No,
time?
I think it was when. Yes, I was. I think it was when I got into the car and the car transferred over. It auto muted me, and I didn't realize it.
All right, well, go ahead. I'll let you have the floor then.
I mean, just what I was wanting to say, because like you were saying, oh, you can't have a baby without a man. While that was true years ago, we do now technically have the technology where it doesn't have to be they can splice the DNA and they can create.
Sure. I had that in my
Now,
mind the moment I
so-
said it. However, a man probably invented that technology. Just throwing that out there.
I don't like it.
Maybe not. I mean,
I don't know who invented it. I'm just
a woman got us to the moon, so
well, women and men got us to the moon. It was a. I know that there was great mathematicians.
right. But it was her calculation.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Women are so smart. Like it's an equal. You know, on another note, when I think about all of this racism that's happening in America now, and Trump's push to bring all the quote unquote illegal immigrants out of the country, whenever I'm in a store in Las Vegas, literally 90% of the people there look brown. They're brown. I'm the rare white person when I go to a store. Just go to any store in California. I bet it's the same. There's just a ton of
My
mix
area,
of people.
it's I believe it's like 65-70% Hispanic.
Yeah. Well, not even that for me. It's like there's Asians all around. There's black people. It's like, where does he think people are going to come from? Where are they going to go? I always wonder what percentage of America is actually purely what we consider white nowadays.
I mean, we could also have the hot take that, we are on stolen land if you wanted to go that route too.
I know that always comes up. I love it when they tell Indians to go back to where they came from. It's the funniest.
Right.
That's the funniest one.
I
Almanac
mean, they're
says
the true
he has to jump out.
Americans.
Thanks for coming, Almanac. I appreciate it.
And okay, here's something that I learned over the last few years. Okay, then this is because I'm telling you, I am open-minded. I didn't know this, but that Mexican people are half indigenous. Like for some reason, I had it in my head that they were like a mix of Spanish and like something else, but they are considered, indigenous.
Yeah.
To
The Spaniards came over and conquered like the Aztecs and the Mayans.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like I have a very similar mistake. I thought all Mexican people were brown skinned. I was shocked when I realized they could also be very white. Although I have heard they're more like an olive. They're more like an olive color. They're slightly different. But when you could see a pure white person, no matter how you look at them, they look like they're, English or something. Although there's black English people as well. And I was like, wait a minute. Oh, it's because this white race came over and attacked this browner race, and then they integrated. I didn't know that. That was surprising to me.
Yeah.
I don't think is that ignorance or is that just, no, that's ignorance, isn't it? It wasn't
ignorance.
willful. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
Almanac said she did the calculations, the rockets, the technology, the training, and the astronauts had nothing to do with it. 500,000 people worked on landing on the moon, but one mathematician did it all. Yeah, that's exactly what. That's exactly what she said. You did mean that. It's very clear. That's what you meant.
I was just throwing it back, and we were like, "Oh, I bet it was a man that thought of that." When it was probably a whole team of people who thought of that.
Well, that's the thing. It's very collaborative, right? The whole world is collaborative.
Science itself is incredibly collaborative. Even like scientists, famous scientists that discovered things, they gain knowledge from other scientists, and you can't tell me that they didn't talk to other scientists and have discussions.
Right.
They
What is the
absolutely did.
phrase?
They might have been the one that came to the conclusion, but they got there because of others.
Right. I mean, we all have this collective growth that we all sit on top of from just generations and generations of knowledge. Like if we lost all technology tomorrow, I couldn't build a light bulb. I couldn't even build a very simple light bulb. I could maybe figure out how to make fire, but I bet it would be a lot of work. That should be a goal
To
in my
make
life.
fire?
Yeah.
It's hard.
Right?
I'm not very skilled at it, but I can get it.
Right. I mean, you could find kindling and maybe you take a stick and you do this for about an hour and maybe it gets hot enough. Now, that's what I would do, but
Yeah.
does that actually work or is that just something I saw on TV? I don't know.
Yeah, it's friction creating the heat, which gets hot enough to ignite the tinder. Yeah.
Standing on the shoulder of giants. Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Thank you, Deeper and Down. Your work starts in 2 minutes, doesn't it?
No, I've got like 20 minutes still.
All right.
I'm grabbing breakfast.
Oh, are you? Where are you? McDonald's or something?
Yeah. See, I'm just as unhealthy as you.
Oh my God. I did eat a little bit healthier today, but it was a barbecue and cheese panini, so
Panini.
I don't know how good it was. It
Yeah,
was
I saw.
excellent, first of all, but I don't know how healthy it was. And earlier I did have a ham and cheese kimbap, which is like a rolled sushi, but with ham and cheese. I ate half of that. I shouldn't have eaten so close to the time I'm going to sleep, but I was a little bit hungry. So I had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll start again tomorrow. Although I in my refrigerator, I do have those cookie churros. There's these churro shaped cookies, and it comes with like a little plastic thing. Like you know, how, like when you buy like Nutella, it's like that. It's like Nutella almost, and you just dip the. Oh, it's so damn good. But man, does it
That
raise
sounds
my sugar?
good.
It is. It's one of the best things I've ever found here in Korea. I would eat it every day, 3 or 4 times if it wasn't going to kill me. It's so good.
Load
honestly.
up a whole
I'll
suitcase
have to
full.
send you guys a picture of it eventually. Oh man, well,
You should bring home some snacks.
the problem is I'm going to Japan next, and I plan on.
Oh.
I have one of my friends, Mr. Fukumachi, he passed away, and he has a quite significant DVD collection that I'm going to inherit. I told the wife, "Hey, do you mind if I take his DVDs?" Like, yeah, I didn't know what to do with them. Please take them. So I'm gonna have my bag's gonna be filled with stuff like that. And because of the Trump tariff situation, it's my understanding that right now you can't mail stuff to America. You actually can't mail. Japan and Korea stopped. I don't know if they resumed it,
Yeah.
but I heard that they had stopped. So I brought an extra suitcase just to bring stuff like that, and I want to make sure I have enough room for that, because anything else that I buy, I might not be able to send. Or if I do, I'm gonna get tariffed, which is freaking dumb. It's just dumb to get tariffed on the things that you bought here. I don't know. I'm pretty angry about that.
Do you think that hat I asked you to grab me, do you think you'll get a tariff on that?
Oh, I think you're breaking up.
I don't like it.
Oh.
I'm joking. If I see one, I'll definitely pick it up for you.
You are so stupid and boring. You have to go stuck at your home and don't turn on the phone. You can stay behind the phone and typing something like this thing. I don't like it.
That's a Korean girl that lives in Vietnam, I think, or Thailand. I pulled her off of TikTok one day. Chew Wafer says the snacks wouldn't survive the trip if George tried to bring them home. Chew Wafers has been really attacking my.
Brutal.
He's been very brutal with my my diet. But he did bring up a good point that I didn't really think about. That you can make beans from the dried beans. I've never done that. That'd be kind of cool. I think I want to try it when I go back. Pinto beans.
You didn't. I mean, that's what. Okay.
I've never done that. I've never
Done that?
You have to understand. I became vegetarian in January, and the first time I even touched a mushroom was shortly after that. I had never touched a mushroom.
Oh, I love mushrooms.
Dude, mushrooms, and my daughter said it, and I was like, this is so true. They feel like a dolphin. Have you ever touched
feel
a
like a
dolphin?
dolphin?
That's how a dolphin feels, like a wet mushroom. I'm talking about the full mushroom.
Okay.
So
yeah.
so
I've never
there-
touched a dolphin, but yeah, I can see
Yes,
it now.
I touched a dolphin before I touched a mushroom. Like I swam with a dolphin in Florida. They have a thing called Discovery Cove, and it's insanely fun. Like you pay like $300 or $400, I forget. Like it's this all-inclusive resort, and which means you can just walk up and grab food. Just whatever food you order, it's all free. It's included, and you can swim with the dolphins for like an extra like $50 or something like that. And so
that's cool.
grab onto like the fin, and the dolphin swims with you, and then you sit there with the dolphin and take photos. The poor dolphin. It was so fun though. Yeah, Chew Wafers wrote up a pinto beans recipe for me last night. Insane. It'll be in my new book, Chew Wafers Pinto Beans from Zero.
Do she miss me?
Do she miss me?
What's up, girl? What's up, girl? You are so boring.
Are you ordering stuff now again? Or are you stuffing your mouth with food?
Yeah, no, I'm ordering food right now.
All right.
Do you know what I'm ordering?
Yes. I do. You want me to tell you what you're ordering?
Yeah, let's hear it.
The #1 Egg McMuffin sandwich with a hash brown.
No.
I meant #2, the sausage egg McMuffin.
I don't eat egg.
That's why you're getting the pancakes. I knew it. I knew you were getting the pancakes.
No, just a sausage McMuffin by itself.
Oh. Well, that has an egg
I've been
in it.
cutting out the hash.
That has an egg in it.
No, it doesn't.
The sausage
No, it
McMuffin doesn't have an egg in it?
No.
It
a
doesn't have,
sausage
like-
egg McMuffin.
Oh, there's just a sausage McMuffin. I didn't know that. The only time I ever eat sausage McMuffin or egg McMuffin with sausage is by mistake. Not a fan of it. I always get I tend to get the bacon egg biscuit, but with a round egg substitution. I don't like to have the folded egg. I like to get the rounded egg. I don't know if you know, but you can do that. I learned at one point you could do that. That's what I've been doing.
You know, I've been trying to try eggs different ways, because like vegetables, for example, like I hated vegetables for the longest time, but now I love them because I took the time to try them and prepare it in different ways. So I need to do the same for eggs.
I've done the same with Taco Bell. Everything on the Taco Bell menu is the same thing, just arranged in a different way.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just playing around. Chew Wafers says, how much of the
But it
Taco
is,
Bell
though.
how much of the Taco Bell menu can you recite? I don't know if I can recite any of it, but I am excited about that. I actually been reading.
Gorditas?
I've been eating Del Taco way more recently, anyway, because of their 8-layer burrito. Taco
Chalupas
Bell's.
are my go-to.
Yeah, I've heard that. Chalupas. I'm not a big fan of chalupas. Or there was also the other one. There was the chalupas, like that double layered thing. There's like a soft thing, right? It's like a soft
It's a
thing.
gordita, or
Oh, I might be thinking of the
yeah,
crunchy
yeah.
gordita or something like that.
yeah, crunchy gordita.
Yeah. Chalupa's like the thick taco, essentially, right?
Chalupa is like basically it's like a baked or it's like a fried gordita shell, or it's like a
Okay.
shell, but it's like fried. So it's
So
thick.
gordita's the non-fried one.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think they're baked. I don't know. They're just crunchy.
Glacian says, remember when George loved McDonald's? Pepperidge Farms remembers.
Now here's a question. Do you like tomatoes on pizza?
Yes.
Like if you're eating a vegetarian
Yes.
pizza?
Yes. Even in a non-vegetarian pizza, I like chunks of
I love
tomato.
tomatoes on.
I also like black olives, jalapeno.
Yes.
My absolute favorite
green
pizza
peppers.
is the Domino's barbecue pizza, the thin crust with tomatoes, black olives, and the barbecue
Does it have
chicken.
barbecue sauce?
Has
or is
barbecue
it
sauce.
regular
No,
sauce?
it's barbecue sauce. It's so good.
Oh.
I mean, I will eat the entire pizza. It's huge, and I will just be like, Jabba the Hutt the rest of the night.
I don't like barbecue sauce on pizza. I
Oh.
prefer like the white garlic sauce.
Ooh, no. I don't like that at all. No. I also don't like, what is it? The fettuccine? Is that what it is? When it's got the white sauce on there? It's called fettuccine? What am I thinking of? The white sauce. I don't like the white
On
sauce.
pizza?
Not on pizza. There's what are the white flat noodles?
Alfredo.
Alfredo. Yeah, I don't like Alfredo. My daughter loves it. I'm not a fan of it.
I guess we won't ever be sharing a pizza then.
It's a problem.
It'll have to be
Nope.
split.
Nope. No, it won't be split. You'll just no. By the way, I never share a pizza. I always get it's mine and yours, or else I'm too competitive. I'll keep making sure I get. I'll keep pushing for another piece of pizza, so that you don't take the last piece. Like it's bad. I don't do well with sharing food.
Wow.
I don't share food with my wife either. Although my wife has gotten early on in our marriage, she would always, at the very end when I had one more bite left, ask me for a bite, and I kind of got used to it. But I hate it. I absolutely, because I calculated in my head what I have left. You ever been eating chips and you accidentally eat the last chip? Isn't that devastating? You didn't realize.
It is.
It's like
I wanted to be prepared to enjoy it.
exactly. You kind of, you're supposed to like get a look in the bag and you go, okay, there's like 3 left. Okay. I'm just 2 more left. But if you eat the last one, this always happens with the Japanese, what are they called? There's those cheese stick things. I always end up eating the last one without realizing it. And there's not even crumbs left. If there was crumbs left, I could feel okay. But there's not even crumbs left? That's horrible.
Yeah. So this sausage McMuffin, because it's a square piece of cheese that goes on a round sandwich. I always rotate the sandwich in a way so that way my last bite is having one of those corners of cheese.
That's funny.
And if I'm not paying attention and I don't get it that way, I actually get kind of sad about it.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, listen, we've gone on for over 2 hours. The topic of discussion has become all about food, McDonald's. I think it's time. It's 12:30 here. I probably should hit the hay. Thanks for hanging out. Jack Fex, thank you for joining the discussion. Thank you, Violet or Archis. If anyone else wants to join the discussion, make sure that you are part of the Polyglot George Discord. And I will at least be here. Where's my mouse? I'm trying to bring my mouse up. My God, there it is. I'm going to post it one more time. That's where we are. If you come in during a live stream, if you're in the general, we might be able to have a discussion. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye.